How's it going, guys? Vaibhav here and welcome back to another video. Now, a couple of days ago, I made a video talking about the Realme X50M 5G. This thing has the latest Qualcomm Snapdragon 765G processor, 5G connectivity, good specifications, and a good screen with a 120Hz refresh rate. This is another phone in the ever-growing, expanding lineup of Realme smartphones, and people are sort of getting confused on which one to buy. And I think this is to do with the fact that Realme wants to release 5 different 5G smartphones by the end of this year. Now, in the video, I said Realme doesn't really need to focus on gaming smartphones per se because they're doing a great job as they are, and if they keep continuing the way they are, they might get to places. Well, it turns out Realme is already working on a 5G enabled, probably gaming smartphone, and let's have a look at what we see. So according to these images, it looks like this is what Realme's new or next gaming phone may look like. Now, it's a pretty similar concept in terms of design. It's got this black Kevlar backing, and as you can see, there's a Realme photo off to the side as well, but this band in the middle of the phone rings some bells. So I have this Oppo phone here. I think this is the Oppo Reno or the Oppo Reno 2. I'm not really sure, but it's the one with the pop-up camera, and it looks fairly similar, if you can see, to the Realme smartphone that is in question. Now, as far as specifications go, we aren't quite sure, but this could be either a 765G product or an 865G product. I'm guessing this is going to be the highest end phone that Realme has ever launched, so it might have UFS 3.1 storage, which is the latest and the fastest. It might come with the Qualcomm Snapdragon 865 processor, because all the other relevant gaming phones are actually shipping with them, so I think that makes sense. This could be one of the first Realme phones to actually have an AMOLED 120Hz display, which could be great, gaming optimizations, and as you can see, it has a mean look to it, so I wouldn't be surprised if it is a gaming phone. Now, if we look closely at the actual camera unit, it looks to be either 3 or 4 cameras. I'm not really sure. I don't know if there's a camera right there. There might be, but I'm not too certain. But this could be the primary sensor, this could be a secondary and a third, or this could be a quad camera setup. Now, the text does kind of point to a quad camera setup. I think it says AI quad camera setup, so this might be a quad camera setup at the end of the day. As you can see, there's a few sort of gaming looks to the phone as well. Of course, the gold Realme branding is there, but these sort of patterns on the actual body of the phone points to the fact that this is indeed their gaming smartphone. Now, the quad camera setup, it might just be an IMX586 Sony sensor, so not the greatest camera, you could say. But in terms of gaming optimizations, you could be looking at strong software optimizations to really make gaming more fluid on the phone. The display could have sort of no notch. I don't see a pop-up style selfie camera, so this could be a punch hole style notch, or it could be sort of a teardrop style notch. I think both of these type of designs work for gaming smartphones. So it could be either or. It could be a flat screen, 6.5 to 6.8 inches, I'm guessing. I'm not sure if it's going to be a QHD plus panel. I think they're going to stick to a full HD plus panel there. But that aside, yeah, stereo speakers are supposedly coming as well. So it looks like Realme wants to really get into this market too. Now, I think it's kind of a good idea and a bad idea at the same time. It's a bad idea because it sort of ruins their, their conventional traditional smartphone lineup, which I think is really good as it is so far. But when the Chinese competition is getting so fierce with the likes of the IQ phone, the Black Shark phone, the phones, the Nubia Play, all of these different smartphones are catering towards a gaming audience, and for Realme to kind of take a step back on that doesn't really make sense. So yeah, I think that is what we're looking at in terms of the Realme new smartphone. Let me know what you guys think about Realme's decision to do this. Would you buy a gaming smartphone from Realme, and what sort of price tag do you think this phone will sell at? I think if it wants to be competitive, it has to sell for around the $350 mark. I know these are flagship level specifications, but that's just how it is in the Chinese market, and maybe or maybe not, we might actually see this in the international market too. As far as the design elements go, otherwise, this doesn't seem to have any sort of headphone jack on the top. There might be at the bottom, which sort of makes this a gaming phone. But I also have this incline that this might not be sort of a final design, because there doesn't seem to be any volume buttons or any visible volume or power buttons. So this might just be the chassis of the phone, and the overall product at the end of it might be different. But because Oppo is sort of the parent brand to Realme uses Oppo's software at the end of the day, I think this design kind of makes sense, and let's see where it takes us. So yeah, that's about it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you've enjoyed this video. And yeah, this was Vaibhav, and I'll see you in the next one. Adios.